if you live in Australia and you're a footy fan, you would have seen on the weekend Melbourne Storm getting a penalty when Nathan Cleary is trying to kick a field goal. Harry Grant actually manufactures that penalty by, some may say, taking a dive. Others may say fair penalty, it's an obstruction. But anyway, besides the point, I remember seeing something like this year in touch football of the same, well, not so much the same, but a very similar nature. And it's this game here. Trans-Tasman, Game 2 of the Men's Open, Australia versus New Zealand. The last play of the game. You can see now we've got 10 seconds left. So Australia won the first game. They've got to lock this game up right now to win the series. So they're just running the clock down. This is the last touch now. New Zealand make the touch and the hooter hasn't gone. And they play the ball before the hooter's gone. You can see Australia, one of their players is not even back on side yet because he thought the game was over. They have one more play now. So New Zealand, to force this into extra time, they must score. They can't even release a touch, and this is what happens here. The collision. Now, E4 Jones goes over to score, but they're bringing it back for a penalty. Now, it's bizarre how similar these two collisions actually are. Now, whether or not this is an obstruction, I don't know. Like, probably, yes, as far as what you would expect. However, I'm just not a big fan of the way this looks to get a penalty. I think I wish we were allowed to sort of identify a player who's no longer trying to compete for the touch and trying to play for the penalty, and then just basically say, well, it's not an obstruction. Let's have a look at this, though, because we saw the Harry Grant one. It's the arm. It's the arm grabbing. The collision is made because you wrapped your arm around it. It's just so bizarre how similar these collisions are, except on this one, the player here keeps his footing, whereas Harry Grant wraps his arm and his legs flop out from underneath. So, yeah. This one, like, you probably can't argue too much that this is a penalty. I just wish, if anyone's got a sort of a solution on how we can stop, what can we do here? Do you think, like, if everyone's happy with this being a penalty, and a lot of people say, well, he wouldn't have needed to take a dive if he wasn't in the way, which is totally fair enough. But do you think this looks like he's trying to make a touch? Like, he's a very smart player. This guy, hence why he's playing for Australia, and he knows what the New Zealand guy is and isn't allowed to do. And look, to what the current rules say, that's probably an obstruction. The guy was standing in the way, but I just wish that he genuinely tried. Some may say he's genuinely trying to make it. Look, I'm not trying to criticize. Like, 80% of me is saying this is the correct call. And the reason I'm only making this video is because of the direct similarities with the collision to the one on the weekend, and how much of a talking point that became, whether to get an obstruction penalty, you have to be making a genuine attempt at making the tackle. Like, and Harry Grant was criticised that he wasn't trying to make a tackle, he was trying to milk the penalty. And if he's not trying to make the tackle, how can there be an obstruction? And I'm sure there is a couple of New Zealand people that watch this game saying that the Australian player here, he was not trying to make a touch. He was trying to get a penalty. So he wasn't obstructed because he actually achieved what he wanted to do. He wasn't prevented in doing anything. But I could be rambling here. Like, it's just I think it was just a good opportunity to bring this up. But look, we have 3 of the best officials in the world on this game, and each one of them agreed that this was unfair play by New Zealand. I'm going to watch it one more time. I think I'm pausing it at the wrong time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and pause it a fraction earlier. I think when you pause it there, that probably makes it look a little bit better. As in, more correct that it was an obstruction because he's right in the line of sight now. The other question is, if he had have moved out of the way, do you think the defender would have caught him? Let's just pretend that player is not there, and there's all this space around, and he just tries to turn on the afterburners and run around the defender. Do you think he gets there? I don't know. Maybe. It looks like the winger. It looks like Trey Hippie. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And I know he's actually quite quick, and I'm not sure what E4 Jones is doing out on the wing anyway. So, but let me know. Let me know what you think of this situation. Do you think it's a great call? And it's a very tough call. Not for the fact that of the ruling itself. It's tough in the fact that it's 9-8 in a trans-Tasman, what could be a decider. And then you've got the fact that you're making the call against the home crowd. It's a very, very high-pressure call. And I'd say that 80% of the population would commend the referees for making that call. It's just a what-if scenario, like a massive what-if scenario. And I guess the one that goes in my head is, what if that went to extra time? What would have happened? It would have been extremely exciting. But yeah, thanks for watching my clickbait, jumping on a situation when it just popped up in my head. Yeah, if you think I'm talking smack, then let me know in the comments. But whatever gets anyone talking about touch footy, that's the goal of these type of videos. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. If you've got any hot topics, let me know, and we'll talk about it.